Welcome back here to the Ride Along channel, where today is a continuation of the Behind the Lens series, where I'm showing you behind the cameras, behind the microphones, behind how I put together the whole Ride Along series, the whole Ride Along channel that you're looking at just now, and that you can find through all the various links that I've put in the descriptions and the rest of the channel you're watching. Now today particularly focuses on mistakes I see made using Insta360s, and I've got the Insta X3 that I'm going to be using in a few different ways throughout this little video just now to show you really what people are doing wrong, and most importantly, how you can not make those common mistakes. Now, I should explain at the start, I don't consider myself to be particularly techie with cameras and how cameras work. How many megapixels you need, what's the frame rate is, what's a LUT, all the different editing software that you can get and spend thousands and thousands on. I'm not using any of that. I've kept this as simple as I possibly can. Everything you're seeing is filmed on the Insta X3. Everything is edited in the mobile studio on my phone and then put into iMovie, where the final things are put together from there. It's all done on auto. There's no special settings or things I'm changing in any of the clips. So if you do see it looking a little bit different in one or the other, that's why it's all just completely automatic, and all the AI inside the computer or inside the phone and inside the computer and the app that it's doing, all set to auto, all does it for you. So one of the most common mistakes I see, or actually kind of one of the common complaints I see about the cameras really, and how to avoid it, is scratches on these lenses. Now the lenses are amazing. As you've seen from the shots, they get everything, they're incredible, but they are a little bit soft and they are susceptible to getting scratched. So when you put it down, make sure you're putting it either on the actual case, as in this is the little neoprene case that comes with it. What I do quite a lot is actually just put the case over it like that while I'm working with the buttons and on the screen on the back. Or use the other cases. There's loads of different ones that you can get from. Little rubber caps for them, for example, or a few other models you'll find online. Or one of the little hacks I've used quite a lot is sunglass cases. Even if it's with this as well, the little zip-up sunglass cases are quite solid and quite strong. But really go careful when you put it down, because they will get scratched. And as long as you look after them, keep them clean, keep the cases on them, no problem at all. I haven't had a single scratch on any of these cameras. And like you've seen from this channel and loads of other videos, I put them through their paces. I'm not particularly delicate with them when I'm using them. But when I'm not using them, I'm the most careful person, I think, with putting them all away and making sure they're safe. So here we are, live and on board, just dropping in to the top of this perfectly groomed piece. You can see I'm just drifting down now. On a stunning day. I'm just going to show you a classic mistake. As I hold this camera behind me in my right hand, you can see that's why my pole's not moving too much. A classic mistake done is over-editing the shot. Because right now I think it looks stunning. Nothing really needs to be done. Just zoom out and hold focus on the horizon. But because you've got a 360 camera, it's so easy to start buzzing around the place and doing all these weird and wild and wonderful things. Just because the 360 camera can do it. Now it can do it. Use it for the odd little clip here and there. Use it for a little bit of maybe an Instagram feed or something. But if I'm just cruising down and holding the camera like this, or even if I move the camera slightly out to the side here, simple shot, I really think is the best one. Hold that camera steady. Hold the editing steady. Don't overcut it. There you go. Steady camera looking good. Zoom out, go wild. Well, it looks okay for a second. It looks kind of cool, but not for a whole edit. Keep that shot steady. Okay, now what you're watching right now from this camera out in front is all filmed using the Insta360's X3 Me mode. Now basically that means editing is even quicker. The sort of little trick or hack that I quite like. Me mode basically just films straight down the selfie stick, and of course using the AI, the technology inside it, removes the selfie stick so it looks invisible. I can make that camera even longer. It now looks like that magic drone flying out in front of me. Now this is a super useful little app, if you like, or a little trick that's inside the camera to make editing so easy. And all you have to do is make sure that the bottom of the pole is actually pointing directly at your target, which of course, when I'm skiing, is me. So I can move the camera out to my right-hand side just now, as I come around the hairpin here. and you get quite a nice view. I can bring the camera back out in front of me, you get quite a nice view, switch hands, back to the other side. And as long as that pole is actually pointing at me, you get a pretty good view. What goes wrong though, is when people hold the pole like this. You can probably see from the head cam I've got on at the same time right now, the pole now is pointing off to my right hand side. As the pole points off to the right hand side, it misses the target, or I'm in the shot because I've zoomed out, and you can select the angle of shot you want. Whether it's quite close in, obviously not going to work for skiing if I'm that close. Zoom out a little bit or go fully zoomed out. But if that pole is sticking off to the side like it is now, which I see quite a lot in little clips and edits here and there, it just doesn't quite work as well as it should. So just angle that pole, and it is, you can see right now, I'm just holding the selfie stick in my hand. It's just a little flick of that bottom of the pole. Make sure it's pointing at you, and that's when you get that pretty cool shot that you can now see as I cruise down this perfect corduroy piste first thing in the morning. The next common mistake I see with people trying to use Insta360 cameras or 360s in general is not using a selfie stick or a hand mount of any sort. Now right now I'm just holding the camera in my hand. I can just about get a clear shot. But as soon as I start skiing or actually try and do anything, my hand will get in the way of the shot and it'll start to look naff, like smudged. You can't really see what's going on. Let me show you just now. I'm going to hold this right at the end. You can see just now, I might just about be able to get a clear forward-facing shot, but anything other than the completely forwards, which might as well just be sitting on my head style shot, my own hand starts to get in the way. It really doesn't take much to grab a selfie stick, and this one I'm plugging in just now is the longer of the normal size ones, as in it's not the mega pole, it's a 1.2 meter pole. Pops down to only just longer than the length of the camera. And even on its shortest possible setting, you now still get a good clear shot pointing back at me as well as looking forwards. And the cool thing with these Insta ones is they're so easy just to pull and extend, and then all of a sudden, just like that, the shot is transformed from something kind of average to something actually looking pretty good and pretty usable. So any sort of clamp, mount, arm, selfie stick of some sort will make a huge difference with your shot. Don't just hold it in your hand. The next common mistake, and it bugs me to bits, is skiers holding two poles in one hand to try and get a shot like this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but to me, this just looks weird. That's not how skiers ski. And the point of having an invisible camera is so it looks invisible, so you look like you're skiing normally. There's loads of different pole attachments you can get that involve clamping your selfie stick directly onto the pole just there. Or, to be honest, and you've probably seen this in some other videos, just hold the stick. And if you're really struggling, hold it somewhere in the middle, like you can see me do just now. And it still does look a little bit odd if you're filming, because your pole, whichever ski pole, whichever arm you're using that selfie stick in, isn't moving. As in, if I start trying to use my poles to plant just now, it starts looking a bit strange. But I still think that little clip just now looks a lot more normal than the opening clip. And if you want to get a still from it, something like this, you're definitely going to need to have a pole in each hand, or it just looks super strange. So the final mistake I think I see made, not just with Insta360 or 360 cameras, but action cameras and GoPros in general, it's just using the same shot the whole way down, the whole way through. It just kind of gets a little bit boring. Even if you've got the most amazing run in the world, can you mix up your views? Can you mix up your edit, cut in some other shots, and just do something a little bit different? And that's what I've been trying to do throughout this clip. Well, not just this clip, but this whole little video that you're watching now about mistakes being made. Just make it interesting and different and mix it up a little bit. And hopefully that's kept you watching and kept it interesting. If it is, don't forget, by the way, down at the bottom, little subscribe button, whack that like button too, maybe even leave me a comment. And let me know if you've got some other mistakes you've seen being made or some other cool things going on. But that just about sums things up nicely, I think. Keep it interesting, mix it up, keep all the settings to auto and keep it simple. That's exactly what I do in every single one of my videos. And there's plenty more videos like this as well elsewhere on this channel, or if you follow this playlist through, the Behind the Lens series and the Insta 360 series on this channel, there's loads more ideas, not just on the snow, but out windsurfing in the summer, bit of kite surfing, bit of biking, and even some speed riding, some parachuting in there too. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time, or maybe even see you out here in Alpe d'Huez. Okay.